Not my life, my life.
All right, everybody out there in TV land, here in Bridgeport, Connecticut, at the Downtime TV HQ, it's Screentime!
What is up, everybody? You're tuned into Screentime. That's right, Screentime. Screentime, episode 100. We're at the Whiskey Barrel in Stratford, Connecticut. I am your host, not your producer for today, just the host, Tony. We have Michael over there producing over there.
How the hell are you, boys?
Off-camera, Michael. And then to my right is Brian Barnaby. And there's a big reason for that as we hit episode 100. Because we're doing a combo mambo Screentime.
First time ever.
Sportsport. First time ever Screenport, okay? And it's not going to be a new playlist because it's just Screenport, okay? Brian, how the hell are you?
Anthony, great to be here. The Whiskey Barrel. Had such a great time last time. It's up to do it all over again.
Are you getting the chicken again?
Went pre-show meal before, just because I didn't want to be starving. I mean, you know how that is.
Of course. So for you folks at home, basically what's going down tonight, okay? We're doing a nice A block, basically half the show, half Sportsport, half Screentime, all shenanigans. Manny will come in later for the Screentime. Brian may peel off, may stay, maybe off camera.
We have
Brian.
some friends here.
Oh, we do have some guests here.
Guests here.
Oh my God!
Thanks for coming, guys.
Big shout out. I see they're a Yankee fan, but that's all right, I guess.
Oh,
I know.
met them last week.
But the
Come
people
on,
at home
Tony.
don't know that.
But you know what, Tony? The Yankee fans are the good people in life. That's the thing. That's really the thing here.
You know what, dude? Brian, I was going to let you take this one, but let's just go to the world of Major League Baseball, okay? Just hit it.
2-2, he got him swinging. The back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray. There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Cy-Yo, not a where did that land? Stuck to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins.
2-2, he got him swinging. The back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray. There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Cy-Yo, not a where did that land? To Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first.
There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
Now,
All right. Now we're where we need to be. But I have to ask this question, Tony. Before we just talk about anything, are you right now more excited to talk about this weekend from the Yankees or for the Mets?
Honestly, dude, that's a pretty tough question. Just because I feel like, I got really low in here just now. Everyone wants to hear me. I would say the Mets, obviously, dude. Come on.
You know
How
why?
are you not stoked? 4 out of 5 from the Braves. Did I say they were going to do that? I think I said that.
I believe. Actually, I think you said 5 out of 5. but 4 out of 5 is pretty good.
Yeah.
And you know what? For once, I'll let you go first here, Tony. So I know you're so impressed. You're 4 out of 5. The Mets are back. The division's over. Let's hear it.
Okay, so I guess it was actually technically game 2 on Friday, right?
Yeah.
Of our 5-game stint here against the Braves. And obviously, we know all the implications of this series, how important it is for the Mets, for the NL East. So we're starting on Friday, Taijuan Walker on the mound. And, this is one of these games that, Walker, I think, probably his last, I want to say, 9-10 starts were really quality starts. He was showing no sign of any type of regression or anything like that. But I don't know if you saw this, Brian, but something very odd happened. And one of his first few pitches, he kind of his cleat, his front spike kind of caught the mound a little bit. And he just awkwardly stepped on his hip and the ball went maybe 2 feet in front of him to the right. And he was like, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. But then proceed to give up 4 runs that inning. Honestly,
how about 4 or 8
total?
Tony?
Yeah. I mean,
8 runs in 1 inning.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Are you concerned?
No, I'm not concerned. I mean, he said he's not injured. I think that weird jerk of his hip, I think it did kind of, do something because, every pitch he had was just, he was not in control at all. I would imagine putting weight on his hip probably gave him some type of pain or discomfort. I think you clearly saw that in his face, in his level of play. Again, like I mentioned, like his last 9 starts, Brian, solid. You know, like no real sign of fatigue or regression, and it seemed like his stuff was pretty unhittable. At least not until later in his outings. You know, we've seen him like 6th inning, 5th inning, get a couple runs.
6th inning, 5th
first
inning.
To give up, like you said, 8 runs. I mean, 2 of them being home runs too. I mean, I think that really like significantly kind of made it just didn't do well for him. There's something wrong with his hip for sure. I'm sure he's he's a tough guy, Walker. I mean, we've seen him be kind of stubborn last year too, with like why he wasn't doing well. I think that was a big reason why. And obviously the Mets try to come back here, but I mean, 8 runs in the first
But I
inning.
mean, no part of you is just like, here we go with Walker. This is it. The bottom is falling out.
No, because even when the bottom fell out last year, I mean, 8 runs in 1 inning. I mean, I don't think so. I think something was actually wrong with him. And I haven't heard much. They haven't really disclosed anything. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes on the IL maybe for a little bit or something.
But just tell me, I'm not like trying to be, Mr. Met negative over here. But just tell me, a lot of times though, something like this happens. Everyone says it's all right, and then it all spirals out of control. Because I've seen it happen with the Yankees before.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. But in the case of Taijuan Walker here, I mean, to have that like such a significant decline in literally 1 inning,
right?
I think there was something wrong.
Hey,
honestly.
boys,
It's no coincidence there.
Quick comments.
What do we got, dude?
Your mother, Mary, how are you?
Hey, Mom.
Hi, guys! Exclamation point. Where are you?
If you missed the intro here, we were at the Whiskey Barrel in Stratford, Connecticut. Phenomenal place, great ambiance, great food, great drinks, and obviously very hospitable people. I mean, we're here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Letting us put on a show like this, I mean, you really can't complain. But anyway, so I guess we can kind of skim past Friday here. Even though I mean, the Mets kind of they tried to come back. I mean, we saw Ruff. I think his first.
Can we hold on a sec? You know what's my kind and Barnes is gonna get tight. I'm looking at him right now. Look at it. It's a Mets thing I kind of like, Tony. Look at you, Tony's surprised. Look, I got you. He's like, what is this? And Barnes is tight.
I mean, what happened to you, Michael?
No.
You're always in my corner.
I'm with you. I'm with you still. But I'm gonna play a sound bite, and I'm curious what your reactions are gonna be.
Oh no!
Oh, it's dope. Because I thought this was pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. Ready? I hope this is a good soundbite.
Here we go.
Do you know what this is, Lawrence?
Yeah.
He knows.
He doesn't know, dude.
Oh.
Yes, he has love that song. He's so tight.
You know what? Honestly,
Come on, dude.
I mean, all I have to say is, we can talk about the rest of the games this weekend, and obviously, winning 4 out of 5. I mean, that's nothing to snooze about.
Right.
I mean, it's big time for sure. However, I do feel pretty good the fact that the Mets are doing this right now, because just like with the Yankees, nobody ever sees it coming, and we've seen it with the Mets. So all I have to say is, talk to me middle of September and let me know how you are.
It's pretty funny because, we'll get to this game.
Yo,
But,
but
the Sunday game.
real quick, you don't like those trumpets? You don't think that's dope?
Me and Matt text all the time. We just can't with the Mets. Like, it just, you know what I mean? It seems like very like.
But hold on, real quick. If just hypothetical world, parallel universe, Barnes.
Yeah.
Right. Hear me out, Tony. If Diaz was a Yankee, would you be hyped for those trumpets?
No, honestly, I'm not even. I'm just being dead serious.
Tony, do you call hogwash on that?
Yeah.
Like, if you were if it was a parallel universe, and if those trumpets came out to close out a game, you don't think he'd get hyped?
I think he would get hyped.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say, and actually, I believe we have another comment, Michael, if you wouldn't mind reading that off.
Wow. Backseat producer.
Donna Barnaby. Hi, Brian. Dad and I are watching now! Exclamation point. Have
Right now.
fun! Exclamation point.
Appreciate you guys tuning in. And what I was going to say, and why I wanted to mention that comment first, is they know from all the years they've watched the Yankees, there's only one entrance song for a closer. It's Enter Sandman from Mariano Rivera. Nothing can can even come close to that. So I don't want to hear about some fake Mets walk-in song and Edwin Diaz. He's a Hall of Famer. There's only one closer, and that's Mariano Rivera.
Well, see, that's why.
Hold on a sec. I mean, I agree with you, but I'm a fan of the Yankees all day, every day. But I just think it's just funny. Those are dope. But we have a comment. Mary Materiello. The trumpets are great! Exclamation point.
Hell yeah.
Love Mr. and Mrs. Met! Exclamation point. And first of all, shout out Servit capital A. Who's that?
He's been in before.
Yeah.
No
I
idea
mean,
who that is.
sounds like a soccer player.
Yeah, maybe.
Like Serie A?
Yeah, Serie A.
Oh, I like
Anyway,
that.
back to what Brian was saying. I mean, there's a big reason why the Yankees aren't going to win this year. I mean, first of all, Brian living in the past, and not to mention, I mean, dude, if Diaz was on your team dealing like he is right now, you'd be stoked about it. And again, to the speak to me in September thing, what I was going to say is that the pitcher Spencer Strider, right, pitched for the Braves yesterday. And he had this ridiculous statement after the game that the Mets had lucky at-bats, which basically, first of all, the Braves lost 4 out of 5 games this weekend, or since Thursday, to the Braves. And Spencer Strider gets absolutely popped, doesn't last 3 innings, 4 earned runs, and has the gall to come out here and say, you guys are getting lucky at-bats. We'll see you in the postseason. Get the fuck out of here. You're washed. You sound like a Yankee fan, and you're going nowhere.
But I think it's just a lot of people.
Shout out Kirsten Huddock. Subscribe to our channel.
Oh, let's go.
Enter the giveaway.
But what I wanted to say about that is,
right.
I think, Tony, and it's easy to get caught up in the Met, fandom or whatever, but a lot of people that aren't Mets fan are just kind of a little fatigued by, oh, look at us, and then at the end of the day, they just don't end up coming through. So I think that's where people kind of attack them, because people get so excited for a short stretch and then they end up collapsing. And listen, they could change that narrative this year. I just think that a lot of people are expecting them to not continue this rate of play the rest of the season. I mean, we still have a long way to go, and they're kind of hitting the pinnacle right now.
I mean, you could say that. However, they entered this series down, 3.5 games. Many times their lead in the NL East was down to 1 or even half a game. And now here they sit, 6.5 games. And yes, you could say it's not going to last forever. Certainly, look at the Yankees. I mean, their level of play obviously did not last forever. But nonetheless, I mean, this
and
team
I want to talk about
different.
the Yankees real quick.
You have players producing like Francisco Lindor, who did not produce last season. He produced like he should, as per his contract. You have Alonso has 95 RBIs, I think, so far. And again, there's a lot of the season left. Our pitching is in full swing. DeGrom came in, morphed into this lineup like nothing ever happened. It's been over a year since the last time he pitched, and he's absolutely lights out. I would love to see what Yankee fans are saying after the Subway Series at Yankee Stadium.
But the question is, will he be healthy?
Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec.
What?
So, dude, I haven't been on the show in a while.
Yeah.
Right?
And we love having you here, Michael. I mean, it feels like old times.
Honestly, it feels right.
Yeah.
Because you guys are superstars, first of all, over there. But we're good, Tony. So I've got the clock blocked.
15 minutes in, we haven't even gotten through the Mets yet because Barnes keeps wanting to talk about.
No,
the
but all I'm saying is Yankees. I can't remember who I heard it from because I've been given credit. You should give credit where credit's due, and that's why you hate on Rothenberg. You don't think he gave credit to the Yankees when the Yankees were on top. I told Tony, and I disagreed. I thought he was great at doing that all the time.
Right.
Giving credit where credit was due.
But tell me, though, he didn't go backhanded at the end. He would say, oh, they're playing great. But, I mean, at the same time, I'm not expecting them to win the World Series. I would say they're definitely not winning
Well,
the World
everyone
Series.
says that because, dude, what happens? They always choke in the playoffs.
But what I would say to him is, how about the Mets, though? You know what I mean?
What
Like,
I'm
who
saying
choked more?
is, the only thing I'm saying is Cashman made the moves, apparently. I forgot who it was. I wish I knew who it was. It was like Buck Showalter or something like that, honestly. It was someone like that. And they're like, finally, Yankees fans got the moves they wanted for the playoffs. These aren't – the moves they made weren't regular season moves. It's going to be turmoil, he said, and it's going to be tough right now until they groom and get what they were doing before, but it's going to be a better team come postseason. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true. I mean, and honestly, Harrison Bader isn't going to get to play till almost the postseason begins. So I think that gives us some hope. And while, the pitchers that they brought over haven't performed just yet, it's just like one of those things. Like, honestly, when you start your golf round, you shoot a 10 on the first hole, you say you get the bad ones out of the way. So I'm hoping this 5-game losing streak is getting the bad ones out of the way. As Richard Goldstein is in the house, one of Michael's favorites.
Oh, 100%. Always one of my favorites. Great name. Honestly, it reminds me of Entourage.
But honestly, just to get back
Barnes is jealous of our trumpets. The trumpets are great.
Is that my mother?
Your mother.
Thank you very much, Mom. Very supportive.
but let's let's finish up the Mets series before we get to the Yankees. So go ahead, Tony. So we had the nice blowing in on Friday.
Saturday doubleheader. Okay, and obviously,
Goldie.
of course.
Do we need Goldie to get on as a guest? Is Goldie down to come on?
I mean, hey,
I think our producer's going to work on that.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Our executive producer Renee.
Executive producer.
Saturday doubleheader. You have first game, David Peterson on the mound, and you're thinking, oh, like Peterson doubleheader. I know Brian's thinking this, smiling ear to ear when Peterson's on the mound.
He loves it.
Yankees are probably splitting. Sorry, Mets are probably splitting. If anything, they may even lose 2 today. But nonetheless, Dave Pearson gives you 5 1/3, 3 hits, 5 Ks, no earned runs. Obviously, setting up the Mets, I feel like, for obviously a good victory, but also setting them up pretty nicely for the game too. In terms of giving them that length, not using all of their bullpen, I suppose. And we'll get into their bullpen, but I mean, it's another game. I mean, you scored 8 runs. Okay, you had 13 hits. I mean, Lindor went 3 for 4. I think he had an RBI double. Again, I talked about him kind of producing at this point. I mean, this weekend was huge for him. We talked about his level of play in July. And, of course, Brian was like, is he going to keep it up? Well, so far in August, I mean, he's been keeping it up. You have Vogelbach with a big hit. And I believe it was on I think maybe McNeil's double where Vogelbach went from first to home. Okay, and I know Mike's been watching Vogelbach a lot. I mean, big man. To see him run first to home was absolutely outstanding. Guillorme was
he's a Yankee.
Underrated pickup.
He's got a Yankee vibe to
bigger
him.
Luke Voigt, I think. Honestly,
Look at Tony's face.
He's from the left side.
Yeah,
but he does have a little Yankee.
He has a great Met mentality, I would say.
Barnes, does he not have a Yankee vibe to him?
Oh my God,
Yankee written all over him.
Rely on the Mets.
Yeah,
but continue on.
Yeah,
He's had a nice start to his Met tenure.
Well, the only problem with Vogelbach is that he likes to win, right? So I mean, he's going to stick with the
coming
Mets
from
probably.
the Pirates, then he goes to the Mets. I don't know how well he's going to do that. But.
That's what I mean. He doesn't want to leave and go to the Yankees, who's going to lose anyway, dude.
I don't think so. I think it's the Yankees' year. I think it's the Mets in a couple.
Mike, you can't be playing both sides the whole time.
I just know what I know.
He's
It's
just
right.
playing both sides.
No, but real quick though, don't you think when it comes down to it? I mean, I could be wrong here, but I think if he has to pick a side, he's on my side. Honestly, I could be wrong.
I think it's a big toss-up, to be honest.
Really?
You know what's funny?
What's funny?
I'll tell you one thing.
Oh gosh.
You know what? I'll tell you it in one word, actually. 98.
So that shows what side he's on. I mean, how'd the Mets do in 98?
We'll see, dude. Mets didn't do too well in 98.
Oh, okay, good.
But regardless, I mean, they're doing well right now. Again, I don't live in the past. Every single Yankee fan does. I mean, you sit down, they tell you right away how many World Series they have
27.
from 20 years ago. It's great.
Dude, it's crazy, though.
Dude.
Like, they're the most winning franchise ever.
20 years ago. So when was the Mets last one?
Well,
35 years ago?
Do the math,
okay.
I suppose.
Gotcha.
It's fine. Again, who is winning right now? Not several decades ago. That's
Well, that
totally
would be
fine.
the Mets. They've won several decades ago. I mean, no, like
Yeah, that's fine. So, but again,
I don't
they're
know what
winning
we're
right
trying to say
now.
here.
I'm saying they're better right now. They are the better team in New York. We've seen that, and they were better this weekend, and they're gonna be better come October. Anyway, dude, I don't even know where I was. Let's get to the game 2 of Saturday. Honestly, we have Max Scherzer against Max Fried, and we see again. Like another pitcher takes some weird tumble. I don't know. Again, if you saw this, Max Fried was like trying to play a ball, and like tripped over himself and absolutely face planted. And like literally hit his head so hard on the ground. But he said he was fine. He definitely looked kind of dazed. But he had a good line: 6 innings, 2 earned run, 5 Ks. But Max Scherzer was definitely the pitcher to beat. 7 innings, 4 hits, 11 Ks. Another double-digit strikeout for him. Pitch count reached 108. I mean, he was absolutely on fire dude. And to kind of have him follow up Peterson, where you're thinking game 2 at this point could be, you never know about Scherzer, 38 years old. But regardless, you're still getting great offense. You're scoring 6 runs. Alonso at DH, by the way, for the doubleheader. Ruff was at first, who's been doing pretty well, obviously. But he went 3 for 4. Obviously, probably your biggest line there from him. Escobar had a big hit. He was 1 for 4. But regardless, you have Tyler Naquin pinch hit. He gets a run in on I think an RBI single. But I mean, now you're seeing at this point, we're a few games in from the trade deadline. Darren Ruff, Tyler Naquin, even Vogelbach as well. I mean, these trades you made that people even I snickered at in terms of no big names. I mean, they're doing really well. Now you move to Sunday, and obviously this man needs an introduction, but Jacob deGrom is on the mound here. And, the goal for him was around 75 pitches or 6 innings, Buck said, whatever came first. And, I mean, of course, Brian loves to kind of poke the bear a little bit. Oh, deGrom may go to the Braves or whatever. But, I mean, the amount of love he was shown by the Mets in Citi Field while he was warming up, while he walked on for the first inning, while he walked off throughout the game, you can tell he was really feeding off of that energy. He certainly does love to be a Met. And then, 12 Ks, 5 2/3. He gave up 2 earned runs in the end there. He gave up 1 2-run home run. But nonetheless, I mean, for him to come back, he threw 76 pitches. He was hitting 103 on the gas, I think was his high. And he was absolutely fanning batters. Like I said, 12 Ks over 5 2/3. Imagine it when he's like fully back, when he's used to pitching like he goes 7 innings. He'll probably get that up to 15 Ks pretty easily. And again, Mets are scoring 5 runs here. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous at this point, the amount of runs they're scoring, especially on the Braves, who have decent pitching. We saw Nimmo 3 for 5. Alonso was 1 for 3, but had a big hit, brought a run in. He had 2 RBIs. Jeff McNeil had a big hit. Kana as well, big spot, 1 for 3, 2 RBIs. Nito was hitting pretty well, 2 for 4. And then, we had somewhat of could be a tight game here, 5-2, 9th inning. But Edwin Diaz comes out. After Joey Rodriguez, they tried to pitch him for the 8th and 9th, went 2 1/3, had 4 Ks, but was getting kind of shaky there. Diaz comes in for the 9th, 3 up, 3 down, ferocity in the way he was pitching. Again, you want the trumpets, whatever, dude. But the fact is, he's pitching really well right now. He's looking like one of the more dominant closers in the game.
And we have a Mets fan joining us.
Richard Goldstein joined
us on the set.
I think this is the first time.
What's going on, man?
We have another Mets fan.
Good. As you see, Mets are up.
Yeah, I was going to tell Tony 2-0 Mets. Starling Marte with the home run.
Oh, nice.
So Goldstein, talk to me. Why are you a Mets fan? Where are you from? Tell everybody your story in the downtime world, bro.
I mean, I'm from Monroe, Connecticut. Nothing special. Grew up with Barnes.
The legend that is
went
Brian
to Eastern.
Barnes. Oh, nice. With Matthew.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
With Matthew.
Yep. Matty boy.
So tell the story, dude. It's legendary. It is legendary.
Yeah, I mean, from Monroe, I went to college at ECSU. Ended up working in the city in finance. Moved back to Stamford. Still commute to the city twice a week. And
Cool.
I became a Mets fan through family. My whole family is a Mets fans.
Nice.
So you love Tony, I'm assuming, out of our crew.
Nah.
Yeah, man. Tony's the big
Yo,
Mets
by
fan.
the way, Goldstein, have the mic right here. Goldie.
You can pull it up.
No.
too,
Pull,
like
yeah,
this.
push it up like this.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm just curious what you think, because I know
Just pull away.
you went through it a lot yourself. How do you feel about me saying, let's wait till September? I mean, I know the Mets are playing great right now, but they've collapsed so many times. I mean, you can't be as confident as Tony is here that they're going all the way because Showalter's the man.
I mean, last year,
Real quick, Goldie. Sorry, Matt says, Rich, you look like $1 million.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean, last season, as you saw, they were dominating the first half, and then the second half, just straight decline, losing every other game. So hopefully that's not going to happen this season. They're looking great. They got some good pickups. I think they're going to go all the way, and I'm hoping Mets Yankees World Series. I'm calling it right now.
that.
I know.
Michael has been trying
I've
to
been saying
manifest
it,
it since opening day.
Literally. I think it's going to be the best thing ever.
Just because of the
It'll
tough
set the
season
record
we
straight.
had to go through last year with both teams, disappointments, of course. And I'm just curious because we were about to talk about the Yankees, but one other Mets thing here. What do you feel like is the biggest thing that they need to do will make the difference whether they go all the way, make the World Series or not? What do you think it rides on? Like, is there one area in particular?
I think as long as they stay healthy, I think they can go pretty far. They've got pretty much everybody back. I don't even know who's really injured right now. But I think as long as they stay healthy, I think we're in good shape. Other than that, as long as they keep their offense up, get those hits, I think they'll be good. Good to go.
You know what I was going to say, though? The thing Strider said was that they're getting lucky offensively. I don't know if you specifically said that or not. I didn't. I was just thinking about it when you were talking about
total bogus, dude.
Yeah.
Like what an
Did you hear about that?
No.
The Braves pitcher, when they lost, he got
Yesterday.
popped, and he said that the Mets
Little
offense is
fucked
very
up.
lucky right now.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens
All right.
towards the playoffs.
I mean, like, they were scoring over 5 runs every game this whole weekend, and he got popped. Didn't last 3 innings. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
He was just tight.
but no,
Barnes, how do you feel right now? But a little even playing field with the Mets Yankees. I know you're more. I wish Matt was here.
oh, I know.
Yeah, Matt, if you're out there, bud, like where are you?
Brian needs your help.
Brian needs your help.
No,
I'm a
he
Yankee
knows.
fan. He knows.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
like Matt is like hey yo, whoa.
But all I would say is I think both, Tony and Rich know that the reason why I feel comfortable right now is, like I said, what we've seen down the stretch before. So while, listen, this weekend was a complete train wreck for the Yankees. Me and Matt texted back and forth about it all weekend, just how ridiculous it was. And just like, I just feel good about getting your worst baseball out of the way at this time. There's so much time left until the postseason. They've had such a great run, so I just feel like I would not want to be peaking right now. And I know that sounds like, okay, you're just making an excuse for playing terrible, but that is the truth. Like, you want to get it together, and I think these guys were so unhittable all season, and all of a sudden they can't get any support. It's either they hit, they don't pitch. I don't know what you guys think about that, but just in terms of when you're on such a hot streak, there's no such thing as winning 120 games and then sweeping everybody in the playoffs.
I mean, I have to ask you a question. How do you feel about the Yankees losing, Monty and Gallo? Do you think that impacts the team?
And then Monty this weekend pitched a gem.
Yeah.
I think what's the stat? I think the Yankees are 0 for 5
Since they traded Gallo.
Yeah, and the Dodgers are 6-0 since they got Gallo.
But I'm not.
So,
That's why I said what I said, because I think it's I think come postseason.
Yeah, exactly. And listen,
different.
Gallo, was the worst Yankee ever. Literally, the stats say for the amount of games he played, he had the lowest batting average in franchise history. So obviously, that's a good thing. Now, Monty did show him up on Saturday. They lost 1-0. He wasn't great. He got through 5 innings, but kind of labored, didn't have his strikeout stuff. But I just think we've talked about it before. He's not going to be a dominant guy in the playoffs, so the Cardinals can have him all he wants. He starts a division series against the Dodgers, against the Padres. He's going to get hammered. So I think it's fine that we don't have him, and I think we're good with the guys we have, because I'm confident that we'll have Cole, Nestor, Severino, and Montas. I think that's a pretty good 4, and Montas, of course, I know got hammered yesterday.
Yeah.
But I just think there's an adjustment period, and I think guys just figured it out. Pitching is tough. You just don't understand it, and it's guys like Jacob deGrom, what he's able to do isn't normal, that he doesn't really go through a period of time like that. Not many pitchers can do that.
Right.
So that's why,
right, Brian.
that's why I feel pretty good. But one guy that really just aggravates me, and it's funny, our last show on Friday, we started out, I think, was it 15 minutes we were talking about Cole?
Yeah.
And it's I'm just curious what you think, because you've obviously seen him get popped. I think it was just this last week, he gave up 6 runs in the first inning. Obviously, he has his moments, but just from afar, you see all these guys come over to the Yankees and they don't pitch as well. Do you think, with him, for instance, a lot of people talk about spider tag, but do you think it's more just the pressure in the stadium that guys can handle? Because it seems like anytime a guy outside the organization does not perform better with the Yankees, pitching-wise, it's always a problem. Pitching is always a problem.
Yeah, I think depends on, if they're home or away, it's probably going to affect their pitching. Obviously, if you have the crowd behind you, rooting you on, you might do a little bit better, but it all depends.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? You remember watching him when he was on Houston, striking everybody out, and it's I feel like we haven't seen that guy.
I know, yeah, we haven't.
And obviously, do you think that is, or do you think that's overblown and it's more mental? He has the arm talent.
I don't even know what that is.
The sticky substance. Remember that whole thing?
Yeah, After he got in trouble with that, like he started like
doing
tanking.
bad, but then he rebounded, but then he got hammered in that one start in the postseason last year against the Red Sox.
You kind of have to ask yourself, like, did that actually like make him? Did that bring up his value, and then did it just tank his value for a little bit?
I think it has to be a combination, but I definitely am not going to say that I'm not nervous going into this postseason, but at the same time, it's like I feel like he definitely has a chance to return to that guy we saw at the Astros, striking everybody out.
Overall, he's a good player.
Yeah.
He's a good pitcher. He's going to get those strikeouts. He's going to have great games, but he's also going to have bad games. So I mean, kind of gotta, it all depends on the matchup.
And in the past, I mean, really, what's hurt the Yankees in the postseason, I feel like, has been no offense, more so than like pitchers not pitching well. Do you think it's the same case here? It's like they just got to score because we've seen them like strikeout after strikeout, relying on the home run. Do you think that's going to be the biggest thing come the postseason, or are you concerned like with their pitching? Like, do you think they have enough there?
I mean, I don't know what the Yankees are, what their average runs are per game, but I feel like it's pretty low.
Last time I checked, I mean, it might have went down, but I think
you're talking to the mic, boys.
how much they allow their ERA.
Oh, how much they allow?
No. How much they?
So I think they're actually still number one in the league.
Really?
Runs per game.
Oh, runs per game. Really?
Goldie. Whoa,
Yeah.
talking to the mic.
Sorry, guys. I'm
Hey,
new to this.
it took me how many months?
Just like wherever you like.
I'm looking this way, so I should
No. Listen, look at me. Pull it to you right here. Boom. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Now it's not a problem.
Right. So
Sorry, guys.
sorry.
Yo, so Matt says we got fooked, and then Mary Material says the Mets are going all the way.
Yeah, they are.
Damn right, Mom.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, do you think the Yankees are going to? Do you think the Yankees are going to beat them in the World Series?
I think so.
Tony.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Okay.
And do you want me to say no to that?
No, I mean, hey, you're free to say whatever you want, right?
I guess. I think Brian wanted me to say no.
I'm feeling really good about the Mets this
Yeah.
year. I compared to last season, I think, we have a new crew, and I think they're going to dominate.
Yeah, I mean, I
stretch.
think it's going to be offense, and then, like you said, staying healthy, because I think Buck was great. And then also Diaz, because I just feel like he's been so good. Can he really maintain this pace the rest of the way? I mean, we've seen him implode in the past.
Exactly. Like, I've seen Diaz, do phenomenal, and then I also seen stretches where you can't trust him.
Right.
So it's,
I feel like we've never seen a stretch this long of him doing so well ever, though.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's
This is
impressive.
crazy. It really is impressive.
And one thing I just wanted to get to, kind of switching here to the Yankees. Friday, they were all lined up to win. They bring in Clay Holmes in the 8th inning because they're facing the heart of the order. He blows it. Ever since he blew that one game, probably about a month ago, hasn't been the same. He retired. He allowed one run his first, I think, 18, 19 appearances, whatever it is.
Right.
And what do you guys think? I mean, you think he's going to rebound, or do you think we might possibly see Chapman back in the 9th?
I definitely don't think we. Well, maybe, but I don't know. I feel like obviously we know his stuff is there.
Right.
I think it is a mental game. I could imagine for someone to be kind of thrusted onto the scene and pretty much put it as a closer over Chapman. I mean, I would imagine he had all the pressure in the world on him to perform, and on top of that, he was performing really well.
Yeah.
So he had
Lasagna for
that
everyone.
pressure for a long time, and it was only a matter of time, I figured, before he kind of pops a little bit. But I would imagine
It was just crazy.
He's a professional athlete. It's a mental game, I think, at this point with him, and I think he'll bounce back. Yeah.
Yeah, and you think they're better off just avoiding Chapman at all costs, the Yankees? Closing no matter what? Try anybody else, even if Holmes isn't ready.
I mean, I don't really know much about Chapman right now. Is he?
He's rebounded, but he's pitching in the 7th
He has
inning.
it, yeah.
I mean, he's kind of like Diaz in a sense. He has up and downs. You don't know if you can trust him. I think it all depends on who's on base.
Right.
If you got bases loaded and you throw him in there, he's gonna flop.
Yeah, ferocious.
I think it all depends on the situation. But I think for the most part, if you have to go to them, you got to go to them. And I think for the most part they're trustworthy. But I think it all depends on who's on base, what the situation is, and and if they're good under pressure.
So literally 9th inning, just give it to him. No one's there. To start the 9th, you would give Chapman a chance.
I mean, I'm probably the wrong person to ask,
Yeah.
But you've seen it before, though, where he like just walks everybody.
Yeah.
I think he did it against the Mets. I remember.
Yeah.
I forgot who. No, it was a couple of years ago. But Rosario, I think, hit a walk-off home run against them. A home game at Citi Field. It was like the weirdest thing. I don't know if you remember that.
It wasn't last year.
No, it was the
but
COVID season.
it was a COVID season.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, obviously the bullpen just over the weekend yesterday was ridiculous. They lost 13-10 and just constantly giving it back. Montas getting spotted 4-1 and then giving up 6 runs. Efros with that 3-run homer he allowed in the 8th inning, and it just it just one of those things where you see it in any sport when every single thing goes wrong, you just feel like you can't do anything right. But eventually that time ends, and I think every team at some level goes through it at certain points in the season.
Anyway, Brian, I know you love to talk about the Yankees in the past all the time. Let's talk about the future and the present. I did our picks for tonight. I think at this point, I think Brian's gonna go first. I guess.
Yeah,
right?
we are gonna go
picks.
first, and it's funny.
Update the segment.
Oh yeah. This is actually the last day of the segment, and we've had so many different picks. And I'm sure when you've tuned in a couple,
Throw a couple shekels up there. Could
making
be a nice
picks. So,
payday.
and I believe was this for golf, if I'm not mistaken. I know we've done Sakura golf.
I don't know.
Tony in
Mike,
costume.
Was it around the golf or was it Sakura?
I think this was for bowling. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Really?
I mean, I guess we'll figure it out, right? Either way, we're happy.
Down for bowling.
But yeah, so Tony, I think, won the first 2 pick segments. I
And you
won
won
the
the
next
next
2,
two.
and
Gentleman
I'm
Jack.
getting absolutely roasted this one. I'm 32 and
legend.
35.
That
Tony's
is
41 and 28. Today's actually the last day
I know.
of the pick segment, but we'll do it anyway. I guess we have enough for 4, but just quickly, Yankees in Seattle tonight, 3-game set, and it's one of those things where, Tyone versus Gilbert, it seems like we have no chance. Gilbert, the young pitcher, Yankees are reeling right now, but this is the start of a new season for the Yankees. It's been such a bad stretch, and there's a reason why they've won 70 games this season. And I think they hop over Gilbert early because while he's a rookie, he's had a lot of success. He hasn't faced a deep lineup like the Yankees, and I haven't seen anything if Rizzo's back in the lineup, but that would be a big help if he is. But I'm going to say they jump over him early and just finally get one of those wins, nice and easy, 8-1 over the Mariners to set the tone. 10 o'clock games. Those are the worst West Coast. We're not supposed to stay up till 2 in the morning to watch the game.
Are you staying up?
Of course.
Do you stay up for the Mets? 10 o'clock games.
Yeah, but
Not the whole game.
depends. If
If
I had
it's
a
a
long
real good
day,
game,
if it's a really good game, obviously I'm going to stay up for it.
Yeah.
But
So that's what I got for my first one. What about you, Tony?
All right, so it is unfortunate that we had a late sport
Oh,
today because
man.
the Mets are playing and also the Orioles are playing, and I would have taken them too because Kikuchi's on the mound, and they're actually up 3-0. It looks like right now. But anyway, I guess I'll take. I know, Michael.
You're still gonna win, Tony. You got
live bet the Mets.
I'm gonna live bet whatever you do. By the way, it's bottom second. Looks like 2 outs here. I guess
James McCann. No, 1 out. Oh, no, it is 2 outs.
2 outs.
McCann probably going to strike out, I would say.
Get out of town, dude.
McCann's awful. You know it.
No, yeah, basically.
Yeah, I actually don't really like him that much.
I mean,
Terrible offense.
that's the one weakness.
I see a lot of wild pitches.
Yeah, it
you
doesn't
know,
hit. It just doesn't hit.
And he doesn't hit.
Anyway, I know Brian's very soft with the Giants. I'm taking the Giants tonight, though. Blake Snell's on the mound for the Padres. They didn't do too well this weekend.
Got swept by the Dodgers. Shut
swept
out
by the
last night.
Dodgers.
4-0.
I understand, obviously, Dodgers were good, but Padres, you would think, with the acquisitions here coming hot, could contend against the Dodgers. Can't really do it. Giants, give me Alex Wood here. He'll go maybe 6 innings, 2 earned runs. Giants win 3-2. Tight.
Give me the Angels over the A's. Obviously, Angels train wreck, but Shohei Ohtani, 4 home runs tonight. Angels, 6-0 over the A's. Suarez, 7 shutout innings.
Give me the Diamondbacks here real quick against Pittsburgh. I know they've been pretty hot. They swept somebody, I feel like, last week. But Diamondbacks, Zach Gallen, young pitcher, 6-2 in the season, 10 above 3 ERA. I think Pirates are able to hit them. Diamondbacks win 2-0.
And for my third and final, Tony, I'm going to go with the Cubbies, honestly. And they just got Framil Reyes. He just got released by the Indians or the Guardians, and they picked him up.
Oh, boy, dude.
But Thompson Sanchez, since the perfect game, has been a shell of himself. That was like 10 years ago, by the way. But anyway, And they announced Hayward too. They're cutting him after the year. Worst contract in franchise history. But I'm going to say Contreras and Happ go deep. 3-0 Cubs over the Nationals.
All right. Well, that will pretty much do it for our sports segment of Screen Time. Again, never thought I would say that again. Brian, I really appreciate you coming on to Screen Time. Second time.
We got 2 comments before we get out of sportsport going into Screen Time. Frankie Montas, fraud. Matt Gabriel. Sonny Gray, part 2.
Matt is doubting Frankie Montas.
And then he says, Tony, you're popped?
We'll see you guys soon.
Anyway, Rich, thanks for coming on too. Take a short break. Manny will get in here if you guys are feeling spicy.
All right, everybody out there in TV land, here in Bridgeport, Connecticut, at the Downtime TV HQ, it's Screentime!
And welcome back, Manny. What perfect timing. What perfect. Thanks for coming, Manny.
Oh, dude, I'm so happy.
You're tuning into now. This is Screenport still, technically.
Screentime?
It's Screenport, dude.
Screenporting.
Screenport. We're the port of the
I'm
screens.
porting
dude.
up. I'm porting
We have
up.
so many freaking screens going on. It's ridiculous.
So nice. I
Anyway,
feel like the intro's still playing in my ears. Is that just me? Or?
It's the music.
no, yeah,
yeah.
music, dude.
Okay.
Thanks for sticking with us, guys, as we make this phenomenal transition.
Oh, what a beautiful transition.
What a great sport, huh?
Look
For
at this.
Brian and Rich, dude.
This is awesome. You got a nice little guest on here.
I
and
know, it's
everything.
just crazy,
It's
dude.
phenomenal.
I know.
Mike's just looking all straight right now. Look at him.
Yeah, dude.
Lower back.
Lower. Oh, you
Lower
straightened up. He's like, all right, good. Are you telling me that my back
You guys-
posture's
no, because my
my
lower back is stiff, so
Yeah.
you got to stand up straight.
I hear
So
it.
I
Yeah.
have to stand up straight because
No, me.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you have to, dude.
Dude, I know. I look amazing.
Yo, this is
Dude,
dope.
let's
First
talk
time
about some
ever.
freaking movies,
Dude,
you know?
100.
100th episode.
100th
100th
What are you
episode.
talking about?
Right, we're talking about. Oh,
Oh,
man.
yeah, I knew this was gonna
What
come up.
are we
The
talking
toughest
about?
thing to see
The
is
toughest thing to say is our topic today,
Yeah.
because we're talking about our favorite Rotten Tomato movies that have been rated 100% on the tomato meter.
Yeah.
And also adding a couple, maybe our own picks that I think we maybe should be rated a little higher.
I think I got a
No.
few that should definitely be in
Yeah.
there over.
Yeah.
I can name over a bunch because their list is trash, bro.
I feel like they cut off a year date. They were like anything before like 2000 and
Literally.
it's done.
Yeah.
And there are so many good movies out
I
there. And a
know.
lot of those, I mean, I questioned a few.
Yeah,
A few.
shit, dude.
A few.
But anyway, let's start off our Screen Time episode here with a little bit of news.
We got
I have some tidbits of news, and I want to start with one actually that will definitely intrigue Michael.
me too.
Because it seems like, and I'm not up on the Rocky series of
boy.
where I haven't seen any of the Creeds.
Oh, we have them in our studio.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen the Creeds though.
I like the Creeds.
We have all of them.
I heard mixed things about them.
The first one's probably the
Um,
best one, and it's
yeah.
got the best montage scene. After that, it's just you're waiting for a montage scene.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I mean, it
is a rock.
Rocky's synonymous with montage.
Montage.
But they're making a Drago spinoff.
No way.
It's gonna be called Drago, it seems. Obviously, I know that he was, in the first Creed, right?
No, he was in the
Creed
second.
2, and his son was like the main
Yeah.
antagonist.
And then they
So
became
it's like-
friends at the end.
Is like Drago? Is this post him losing to Creed?
So there's no,
It's gotta be.
no. It's,
No, it
it's
has
like
nothing to do
I'm
with it.
assuming at this point because he's obviously playing himself again, reprising his role. But it seems like that it's. I would imagine it's an aftermath of his son. Maybe like, or maybe I mean.
Well, at the end of that movie, at the end of whatever the last Creed was, that from what I remember, was that like him and his son become like tight. Yeah, because they pressured him,
Right.
and I believe it's because he's got mommy problems too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because mommy Drago went and just like started banging like the head of Russia. And all
She
that shit.
banged
Oh, really? The tall chick
Flavor Flav!
from the Rocky 4.
Yeah,
Flavor
Flavor
Flav's
Flav's wife. You know what happened?
You know what happened? That's what happened. Flavor Flav got on the picture.
Flavor Flav's wife
did,
came
really?
in and she took over Russia.
You never,
That's-
Flavor Flav hit that.
Dude, I hope Flavor Flav pops
Really?
up in this new movie.
Yeah.
So it's Stallone. They were dating. Or I think they were engaged.
Oh yeah,
No,
they were.
I don't know.
Back in the day.
It was like
Yeah, back in the 80s.
yeah, for a sec.
The only reason most people remember her is because of the fact that Flavor Flav brought her back into the mix back in the what was
Facts.
it, 90s or early 2000s.
No, it was for Flavor of
Yeah, when was that? It had to have
2005.
been. Yeah, so early 2000s. Okay.
You said early.
I thought it was late 90s, early 2000s. So the whole what the hell is that MTV show? The
MTV
group.
Cribs.
Nah, the one with everyone
talking
chumps
Flavor
in.
of Love.
Your mama? What are you talking
my
about?
God.
Dude? Everyone chimes in.
Everyone is
Not
part of it.
MTV
There's like
Cribs.
10 strangers.
Real World.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Real World.
Thank
Okay.
you. The real
What's that MTV show where everyone is in?
lives together.
Chimes
You didn't say
in.
that. You
Well,
said everyone
I'm saying it
chimes
right
in.
now.
Like, what does that mean?
Well, listen, I love chiming in.
Get your
so
words
get it.
straight,
They're all
buddy.
chiming in. They're all chiming in for
I'm
this.
chiming in right
Chime
now.
in
Anyway,
with the news. Give me the information.
I mean, do you think at this point? And by the way, there's like a big like problem with like Stallone trying to get the rights back
Probably,
to Rocky right now.
who do you sell it to?
I think one of the other producers has the
Has
rights to it. We're trying to get them back. I don't really know the ins and outs of it, but I think at this point, I mean, a Drago spinoff. I mean,
Man, now they're just
Come on,
pulling.
dude. Are we splitting hairs here, Michael? Right?
I think we're splitting hairs, bud.
Would
Yeah,
you
it's
rather
whack.
see a Creed 3 or the Drago
You want
spinoff?
dude?
You know what? Actually,
Honestly,
if they did Drago correctly, I would have.
You know what they should do? Remember when his wife died,
Adrian.
Adrian?
Yeah, and like right off the
You
bat.
have Rocky go into depression, right?
Yeah,
And he bangs some random chick,
some random one.
right? And then now he's the same age as Creed, and he's just coming up as his own self. And then the actual son
yeah.
is like, I want to train you. Like I want to get you.
I'm so lost.
Wait, the kid, the bastard child.
The bastard
The
child. of
bastard
Rocky?
child is
Yeah,
just
comes up.
fighting,
Right,
and,
right.
and the real son sees.
Oh,
It's
for my
about-
Rocky 6.
Yeah, his name's Balboa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His name's Balboa.
dude, that kid ain't fighting. He was.
Yeah, that kid was
No,
a little
but
bitch.
he's gonna. He was in the corner
Yeah,
for his father.
Yeah, because he was so he wanted to reconnect with his dad.
Yeah,
he's not a
that
fighter.
was weak,
He's a
dude.
lover.
Yeah, he's not a
He ain't
fighter.
a fighter. He's not like his dad. Come on.
Yeah, but guess what? His father's gonna go with Creed,
Oh, God,
and
this
he
guy.
goes with the brother,
Oh, the half bro.
the half bro.
half bro. There's a half bro.
Come on, is that not a good series?
I kind of like that a little bit. Yeah.
Better than
That's
this.
too much.
But then
That's
can the
too
half
much.
brother and the brother get into a fight and the half brother like beats him up?
Oh,
You know,
hell
what, you know what the
yeah.
problem is that this can't be a movie. This has to be a TV show. The way you guys are talking about.
Why?
Why?
Because it's too
What
much
are you talking
information.
about?
What are you talking
You
about?
just explained that whole thing. It's too much incestuous shit going on. You have to figure it
You're
out.
incestuous.
You're
Get out of my
incestuous.
town, dude.
Well, I think a Drago movie.
Can we
is
cut
fucking
this guy
sick.
off, please?
Don't cut me. Too much iced tea.
Too much iced tea.
Ice tea.
Fucking iced tea. Fuck it.
Anyway, I'm very much anti-Drago right now.
Yeah.
I know. Again, I mean, he's a big Soviet dude. You don't want that.
I know. I mean,
I guess he gets to,
the best villains
but-
are, like
the
Russian.
best villains are Soviet dudes.
Yeah, Russians.
I beg to differ.
I mean, dude, you can't tell me the best training sequence wasn't in Russia
Yeah,
when he's trying
I
to beat the
suppose.
Russians. Come on.
You can do that in America too.
No, you can't do it the way he did.
You can do it.
That was like,
the farm and shit. Let's go to Alaska or Minnesota even.
nah,
Go to
people make it
Minnesota.
too bougie, man.
In
These
winter.
people these days ain't working out like that.
Anyway,
Get
dude,
to
let's
the
move on to the next tidbit of news. Okay, and this one is going to be about DC Comics. Again, I guess
DC,
also
we're back
striking
on
Mike's
DC.
fancy here, in the sense that DC decided to release a 10-year plan.
A 10-year.
Well, actually, excuse me. They didn't
Including
release
me.
it. They didn't release
That's
it yet.
Nightwing.
They said that they are going to release a 10-year plan.
So they're trying to be like Marvel. Love it. Okay.
No, quite literally. I believe his name is David Zaslav, who's the president and CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, right? DC.
Oh, the new one, yeah.
He is saying how much of a train wreck DC is, and he is promising.
Has he been listening to this podcast?
Yeah, it must. He must be because the studio is pivoting
Yeah.
to follow Marvel
Pivot.
in making a 10-year plan.
Good.
Okay, and right now,
What is going on?
but that's what I mean. Like they're going under like another reboot they're doing. They still have Ezra Miller as the Flash, by the way.
Ew.
That's not good.
They're
That's not good.
reprising Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah, I
for
saw
Aquaman
that.
already
2,
said
right?
that.
Yeah, I know. I
So
saw that.
right now-
They filmed that already.
Ugh.
they have a few things coming out. Black Adam is coming out.
Black
in
Adam. That's
October.
right. Isn't that The Rock?
The Rock.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
gonna be
how
good.
long is that going to last? So the Rock.
Rock. Another.
It'll be good.
Are you just saying that because
You can have a 10-year plan with the Rock.
yeah,
dude.
he
There's no
won.
way he's lasting 10
He's
years.
not.
I
It's not
know.
gonna happen.
You're right.
Anyway,
It's not
Shazam: Fury of Gods, the next Shazam
I
movie.
like that guy.
Shazam was okay. Yeah,
Look,
the dude's
I like
cool.
Shazam. I like the team thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Power Rangers.
And then March 2023.
Even though it's so not DC.
What?
Shazam. It's like not like a prominent thing with the
No,
like
it's not.
how they have the team for.
Well, yeah. But still, at least they're moving towards something new because they got to stay away from Justice League because it sucks.
Right.
Well, they
So
could
much,
do it
dude.
better, Manny.
Yeah, they've been trying to forever,
Okay.
and it's
Yeah, we'll have us do it.
Anyway, moving on. So, and then in March of next year, which I feel like they could bang out something in the new year before March. Come on.
quick.
The new Aquaman movie, which Aquaman movie, which I mean, I feel like people are soft on Momoa as Aquaman. Obviously, Amber Heard, what is happening with that? And they're soft on Aquaman just in general.
I know it was atrocious.
And so that's going to be a wash. And then June 23rd is The Flash. Talk about a train wreck right now. You need a new Flash. You're coming out with another movie in June. That's going to be a wash.
You need a new Flash, and then you brought back an old Batman.
Yeah.
And not like stop.
Michael Keaton too.
And then Michael Keaton is going to be in.
What is he gonna be?
Is he going to be in the new Flash?
I
movie?
saw photos of him in something.
He's going to be the Batman, I think, in the new Flash movie. He's going to be like the older, like an old Batman, which is like.
Because he's going back.
So I guess
in time,
Flash is
probably.
doing some time thing,
Yeah,
right?
That's what Flash.
And then you have Blue Beetle coming out in August of next year. Who I don't know much about.
Blue Beetle is with Blue Beetle basically is like from Young Justice though. I don't know why he's in this.
I think they should bring the Tic
maybe
Tac
they're
for
kind of
the fifth time.
established some type of different character. I mean, because I feel like Blue Beetle is the first character they've probably been having a new character in the film in like what, easily 8 years.
Easy.
Blue Beetle's Young Justice. It's like a thing that it's like an extraterrestrial thing that attaches to a
Yeah, but
young
remember,
boy.
we're movies.
It's
There's
like
Kind of
Spider-Man.
like a good Venom, like he's extraterrestrial, being
Yeah,
attached in
yeah,
person.
yes.
I mean, I saw some screenshots of what the costume looks like. It looks pretty dope.
Yeah, it's a good Venom actually.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So,
Interesting.
and then in October of 2024. So after August 2023, after what?
It's 2 more years for this.
2 more years for
Jeez.
Joker 2. So it's the only thing slated, and of course, Joker 2 is a standalone Joker.
Another
by the way.
standalone Joker.
It's gonna go. It's like
two
Joaquin Phoenix coming in to do Joker 2
with Lady
But I mean,
Gaga.
yeah, with apparently, and it's like what, like who? No, what?
Yeah, she's confirmed.
Like that Joker isn't gonna be a part of anything. I assume anyway. And it's Joaquin Phoenix. Like,
Yeah. Oh, they're just going on single,
Right.
road freaking superheroes. They're not mixing and matching apparently.
so it's very weird. And then obviously, I would imagine there would be a Batman 2 somewhere in the mix that they obviously haven't really talked about.
We're gonna have another Superman at some point.
But and they talked about probable projects, which is Man of Steel 2.
They just bench fucking Batgirl.
The Spanish version.
What?
No, there's something they just asked DC and
They asked Batgirl. They shelved
Batgirl 2.
Batgirl was going to be a
Yeah.
Spanish Batgirl for the.
Oh, the girl.
Yeah, but it wasn't gonna be like in Spanish.
Yeah, like what are you talking about?
Yeah,
She's going to be a Spanish Batgirl.
Yeah, she was already
in
good. She's already part of it. But like that shit got shelved
Yeah,
because
but
something
they
happened.
shelved
She's like that. That's what everyone's been talking about.
Yeah,
They shelved it completely. They stopped
but
it.
that's what I'm saying. It was a Spanish Batgirl for the first time.
What is
ever.
that? Oh yeah, but that it has nothing to do with that part though.
I'm just saying it was the first time ever.
I just thought you were talking about like a Spanish version of Batman.
Yeah, it's what it sounded like for a second.
Like it was
Oh my
dubbed
God.
over. I'm like, oh,
No.
That'd be
Batman
so
in
funny.
Espanol.
Yeah.
No. All right. Yeah. But yeah, that girl, the curly haired girl.
¿Dónde está?
¿Dónde está Batman?
But yeah, so
Doble
obviously
face.
couldn't even get Batgirl off the ground.
I know. Like
Like, what are we doing, dude?
I don't know. I
So
don't know.
disgraceful.
They're so gone right now.
They are so
You know,
gone, dude.
They.
And then the last tidbit of news, because I want to get away from DC,
Of course.
because the rest is speculation. They're trying to get Henry Cavill, by the way, to do Superman again. He didn't fucking want him. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna rehash Superman and make a bunch of new ones again with a new
Yes.
Superman?
Yes. They
Get
are.
out of town. dude.
Yes, they are. They're gonna do that. It's gonna be atrocious. Or they're gonna find finally the one freaking actor that can do something for them.
Well, they got Henry decently, I guess, middle
I
aged,
like
I guess,
him.
at that
Yeah,
point, but it took so long to get everything through.
It's not good.
It's in terms of like, you know, to do the Justice League, and then
What they need to do is
it
they
was
need to
just a train
stay
wreck.
away from the Justice League, and they need to do another like three movie series, like
Yeah.
they did with the original Batman. Well, not the original Batman, but the
Dark
Christopher
Knight.
Nolan
Yeah.
Batman. Like get these stories, get some good people in it, and create their story first, and
Right.
then throw.
And then exactly, dude.
I mean,
Kinda like
that's what Marvel did.
did.
They did great. You can watch any Marvel movie independently and be pumped about it.
Yeah.
Knowing that there's more to come in each one of things, but that's why you watch. Like when the last one came out, how many people fucking went and watched from beginning to end?
Oh my God.
Dude, you can't say
Yeah.
that about DC anything.
No.
You wouldn't go back to watch anyone,
Right. No, hell no.
except for the Christopher Nolan, of course. But
Right,
I mean,
yeah,
and some of the jokes. I mean, they've been good, but they need to stay. You have
So
trouble with the Mets losing, winning? What's
no, I
up?
was just looking. They're
All
still
right,
up 2-0.
Good.
Looks like bottom third.
Bottom
Alonso's up, man on second. So feeling pretty good.
All right, that's good.
But so our last bit of news, and this one I'm super pumped for.
Oh,
It seems like they're trying to like reboot Spawn.
that's interesting.
Yeah. So
Did you like the original? Because I love it.
love the movie.
Oh, it's so cool.
Love the movie so much. I watched some of the HBO series as well.
Yeah.
That was
There's an
dope.
HBO series.
Yeah,
Oh, I
dude.
didn't know
Came out
about
like the early 2000s, I think.
Dude,
It's
I
animated.
just love. Oh, that's why I haven't seen it. I don't watch a lot of the anime stuff. But like, I love John Leguizamo in it.
Yeah. Oh my God, so funny.
The
Yeah.
clown.
Yeah. Oh,
Dude, that's such a weird comic book, but like it was like the first of those really dark. But that was
Yeah.
back in the day. How old is that movie? That's got to be like
90 something,
90s, right?
92
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah. And Todd McFarlane, who kind of owned the rights to Spawn. He has his hand in the series. He has his hand in the movie, obviously.
Good.
Wrote, illustrated the comic book.
Yeah.
He is trying to reboot this movie, and it seems like Jimmy Fox is on board
Dude,
to
that's
play
awesome.
Spawn,
That's awesome.
which is absolutely ridiculous.
What's cool is like I feel like Spawn did a good job in getting. It was like right at the time where they thought they could make this movie because they could actually have some CGI,
Right.
and it was like cool because
Right, it
like
was
the
decent.
cape and everything. Like
Yeah.
for the time, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But now you can do anything. That's why
Yeah.
all these superhero movies are happening.
Yeah,
And all
you
this-
can do all
now
this
you
crazy
can do
CGI, yeah.
everything that your mind could think of is
Right.
done.
And also the movie Spawn. I'm trying to look at the year, 97.
97, yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, what was out in the 90s? Blade was out.
Yeah.
Probably The Punisher came out a little after.
Punisher had
maybe.
probably the early version of it.
Yeah, with when it was violent, it was rated R.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
So
was
that's what I mean.
like-
These rated R comic movies were out. It was the 90s, bro. People were.
Oh, dude,
into
everything
it.
was
Yeah,
grimy
everything
and
was
just like
grungy.
Yeah, that was my favorite part.
Oh, so good.
I was just watching a 90s movie. Harrison Ford, one of Harrison Ford's like 50 different movies in the 90s that he had.
The Fugitive.
It
Air
wasn't The
Force
Fugitive,
One.
it was one of those.
Air Force One is so
No,
good.
Gary
I love
Oldman.
it.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I watched
so
it like a few months
freaking
back.
Good.
I think this one was like one of the President's Men or like some like crazy one. It was he was like it was one of the guy who writes the books. He does like all three of them. And then they have
Tom
the new guy. It's not
Clancy.
Reacher, but it's
Jack Reacher, Tom Clancy. is
one of
it
those
not?
guys.
Is
One
it
of those
Stephen
characters
King?
is
I
that
don't know what
no, one of those like mystery
guy who
crime
writes the
guys.
books.
You're done. You're done.
Was-
Keep on
the
going.
Fugitive was like a series. There was
The
connections.
Fugitive.
and stuff.
Well, yeah. Well, that U.S.
Tommy
Marshal.
Lee Jones. Yeah.
Yeah. Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, dude.
It's a good movie. Good movie.
Anyway.
No, this was another one. No, 90s.
But you don't know
Grungy.
what it is.
You
Anyway,
love it.
dude. So I'm super pumped for that. I mean, I
Yeah.
watched Spawn when I was a kid. Probably
Awesome.
too young when I watched it, but it was dope as fuck.
It was so young when I watched it,
So-
and now I rewatched it. It's
I mean, to have that on the radar, and obviously it's going to be very interesting because, again, like these rated R superhero movies are, I feel like few and far between now. And
like if you haven't seen Spawn, go watch it again because that one's like it's not like they're remaking it because it sucked.
it was so
like
good.
it was good. They're
Yeah.
just remaking it now because probably
It's been a while.
and they're like, oh, what can
CGI.
we do now?
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
go. That's good.
And it's going to be cool to see because obviously Marvel doesn't own it. DC doesn't own it. What kind of production companies are going to kind of pick it up to produce the movie and everything like
I
that?
think they'll have a little bit more freedom to do what they want to do.
For sure.
Oh yeah,
I'm super pumped about that. And that was the piece of news I wanted to end on.
dude, that's awesome.
Right?
You got me pumped.
Right?
I'm excited.
A lot of good stuff.
But what people don't know is that I never know what the hell's happening on this show, especially
Right.
when it comes to the news.
Yeah.
So I'm as surprised as you when he brings this stuff up. So it's
Uh-huh.
awesome.
Oh my God, yeah.
Pumped.
Absolutely love it. So let's get into our main topic here.
Main
so like
topic.
I said, our
Top
100th
one.
episode, and many had the idea to kind of look at, what kind of movies on Rotten Tomatoes, because we talk about Rotten Tomatoes a lot, and we
Yeah.
bash them because they're trash over at Rotten Tomatoes.
They really are.
I don't know who's in charge there, but you got to change it up.
Yeah, they need to figure this algorithm out.
Literally. So we decided to look at the list of movies that are rated 100%, which apparently is a big deal for them.
Apparently, because
they're
they have their
such
own list.
harsh critics.
Yeah, they have their own 100 list.
Dude.
It's
And
atrocious.
let me tell you, I heard Brian
I
talking
know,
smack
Brian's over
about
here.
the Yankees. Or something.
Brian started drinking already, so we know what's going to happen.
Oh, it's over. for
Comments
Brian,
galore.
dude.
Oh, and the Mets just
And the Mets
scored.
are they going to score easily,
That's why we're
Brian?
Look at that.
Yeah.
3-0.
Wow, dude. Is that vocal box?
Oh, he can't even hear you, bro.
All right, sorry. We're getting off track here. Focus, man.
I'm in.
Okay,
I'm
dude.
sorry. There he is. Yeah.
Wait till September.
Wait, yeah, season.
Okay, so Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes, horrible place.
So I'm looking at this list, Manny, and
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean the list obviously, they do their research, I suppose. but it seems like after the year like 2015, every single movie that was rated 100 was like either a documentary, which I think is a lazy take to rate a documentary.
And even then, I can tell you about 50 other documentaries that are probably better than that.
Exactly, dude. And then on top of that, or it was either a documentary, which most of them are documentaries, or it was some just far-fetched, crazy film no one's ever heard of, and there's probably 5 reviews on it. So there's nothing there. Okay? And even the movies in the 30s, I mean, get over yourself.
I mean, Citizen
Kane sucks. No, Manny, don't do it. Citizen Kane sucks. Okay, I get it. ARI and the Screen Actors Guild is, oh my God, this is the best thing in all cinema. I get it, dude.
No, I think it's just. It
was almost 100 years
there's
ago.
history.
Well, not 100.
That's all.
It was back in the day.
Yeah, I think at this point we can get past it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think when we came up, I mean that was the thing. It was like that was the movie.
Right.
Everything was made from that, but we're past it. We're almost like you said, 100 years past it.
Yeah, which isn't film 101 anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, we're into the specifics. We're in the 300 level courses now. Okay, and it's the same.
We have adjunct professors.
It's the same type of people who are like, oh my God, this movie is such an indie film. It's gonna be rated 100. The same people who's like, Sister Kane's the best movie ever. You know, because they're that
all the artsy fartsy people. Like, stop it.
Cinema.
Stop it.
Okay.
Stop it.
Get over yourself.
Get it over.
So that was my kind of take on this list,
and I agree with you in all shapes.
And honestly, I'm still pretty pumped because there are still good movies on it, and I would say like my list is actually pretty, I guess, decent, I suppose. But,
mine is pretty decent too, but I don't think they're. I mean, at the top 100, there's one in here in particular. There's 2 of them, and I was like confused. I was like, really? Both of them?
You know, I'm confused about that because I would agree with that.
Would you?
I would.
Top 100 though?
Top 100.
To give them both credit for that?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, no. We'll talk about it in a bit. We'll
talk about it right now, actually, because it's your turn.
So what are we explaining? Did we decide what we're going to do?
So we're going to do, so what we did, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We picked 5 movies, 3 of them being what we agree with Rotten Tomatoes, and then 2 picks, of our own.
Yeah.
To kind of, talk about what we think, 2 picks of our own that could be on the list.
Yeah.
That should be on the list in our eyes.
That we feel deep down.
And of course, I mean, if you're so inclined, you want to talk about a movie that should be on the list, because a lot of them should be on the list, I feel.
Dude, I feel like not talking about it says enough.
Yeah, true.
From some of these.
Exactly. Not picking the movies.
But not picking the movie shows that there's. Yeah. I mean, if you need to go on Rotten Tomatoes and look it up, they have their own list. It's their list, and it's atrocious.
Yeah, it's atrocious. So let's start us off. Start off with your I guess your top 3 that you enjoy.
All right. Well, the first one is Searching for Bobby Fischer. That movie is just out of control. I actually watched it, I think this year at some point. It was on, and I think I just turned and I started watching it. But it's about a kid that plays chess, and he's really good at chess. And he beats his father for like the first time, and his father realizes that he's actually really good.
Protege.
Just naturally, he's like this protege. And then the whole history is about finding, I believe, Bobby Fischer, which is one of the most the professional chess.
He's like one of the greatest American.
But he just disappeared. Mm-hmm. Like that guy has so many issues, and like once you actually, because of course after you watch the story, you're like, oh, who is the real Bobby Fischer? Like, what's the deal with this dude? And this dude was like brilliant at chess, but like he just disappeared, and he wouldn't come back for a while, and then he came back for another thing. I think he's the one that beat the Russian. The Russian. He beats the Russian. But did he also beat the computer?
Oh, I don't remember.
There's someone who beat the computer. Like someone played a computer and beat him.
Oh, I know. I think the match against the Russian lasted like 200 days.
Dude, it was intense.
And then had to literally end the match because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. But so like the story involves him, but it starts involving Lawrence Fishburne's in it and Ben Kingsley's in it. And both of them are like the complete opposite of chess technique. One of them's a hustler from the streets that plays every day on the streets of New York and everything. And then the other one is like a classically trained. Like he's in this and he's learned every little, like professional, real way to play chess. And like the hustler's like, oh, you got to work fast and a little bit more reckless to get. And it's just this whole in between of how this kid feels and learning that both ways work. Classic. It doesn't have to be one or the other, of course.
Oh yeah.
But great movie. Again, I think it's a 90s movie, right? Yep, 90s movie, 93, early 90s. And just the acting. Lawrence Fishburne is great in it. He plays this like hustler. Awesome. And Ben Kingsley, of course, very uptight, very, even though he's usually a villain in those movies. But great movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Definitely. I'm not sure if it's 100%, but but I'll keep it in there for them. It's fine. I'll agree, kind of. I don't think a lot of these movies are 100%. And it's a great movie. I just don't think it's 100%.
Right.
Number 2 is an old school movie, and of course, it's got our boy Humphrey Bogart in it. That's how back we're going. We're going with Maltese Falcon.
Oh, okay.
Film noir, some of the original black and whites,
Right.
and it's literally the story of a detective pretty much has to find this one Maltese Falcon, this statue that everyone's looking for, and he's intertwined with this girl that wants to find him because
layers,
the whole layers of old school movies and how they bring it in for now. And look at this.
We have Matthew coming on to the show.
I didn't know he
now.
was coming on. Look at this.
Matthew,
What a surprise! What a wonderful.
Hey, oh my God, Matthew! What is it? Dude? Shake my
I
hand.
haven't seen Matthew in God knows how.
I know you look tan, bud.
Look at the glasses. You look very intellectual.
So that guard
Yeah, you look like a critic for Rotten Tomatoes.
I know. I feel like you represent.
That's what I do on the
Rotten
side.
Tomatoes. Is that what you do?
I knew it.
That's why.
I've never given 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
Have you ever given
Good for you.
100% to any movie in your mind?
Goodfellas
Goodfellas,
Nice, dude.
That's
and
pretty
Godfather.
solid. Was
2 movies not on the list, by the
2
way.
movies,
That's unbelievable.
and I don't even think we chose them either. Yeah,
That's unbelievable.
2 movies that were not on that list.
Well, did Rotten Tomatoes even exist when those movies came out?
Oh, dude, they
Well, probably not, but they still rated old movies. You
Yeah.
know, they still rated.
What'd they get?
I don't even know. Actually, check those out.
Dude.
I'll keep on going with this. We're talking Maltese Faction. You ever heard of it?
Who?
Maltese Falcon. Have you ever heard of
No.
it? I said Maltese Faction every time. I always mess that up.
What the hell is
Old school movie. You know who Humphrey Bogart is?
that? Yeah.
Casablanca. He stars in it. He's a detective, you know.
Is it me or is Humphrey Bogart a very one-sided actor?
100%. He plays the same thing.
Like he's not a good actor.
No.
So
No.
why is this
Come
movie
on,
like?
don't talk to me about it.
Do you know why? Because it was, again, what people forget is like these were like the first times these things were happening.
Right.
Like people were seeing these movies and being like, holy shit, I've never seen a story before.
Yeah.
Now every movie has been redone and it's the same thing. But at the time, like it made sense. Humphrey Bogart was just a big superstar at the time. And every movie that he was in, everyone was like, oh, this is awesome. But Maltese Falcon was actually pretty fun as like a thriller, you know, for at least the early days. And I think that when you watch it now, you can see why, but you can also see like it's really outdated.
Yeah.
You know.
By the way,
They gave that 100?
no.
They
Maltese
gave it
Falcon.
Maltese Falcon.
By the way, Goodfellas 96, Godfather 97.
Yeah,
Don't know why they just didn't round it up.
exactly. That's what I want
What
to
the
know.
fuck is the difference?
3%, dude.
3%. And you're looking at 2 movies that, you know, like Maltese
Way
Falcon
better than Maltese
is
Falcon.
great.
I mean, I've
but
never
it's
even
not
heard
a,
of that.
It's not a class.
It sounds like a video game character.
Exactly. So
Captain
we're
Falcon's
gonna leave that up there, I guess. And we'll just say we'll give that a 100.
terrible.
You've been
It's
bashing it the
terrible.
whole time.
It's
Man.
terrible.
You've been bashing it.
I know, but that's the reason. Like, this is the problem with this list. Like, I love the movie. I think it's a
Right.
great movie. I love Bogart. And I think it's like, but no,
Right.
you're not on this list. Now, this is the one that you and I were just talking about. We're going Toy Story 1
Is that your number
and
1 pick?
2. Yeah.
They both got 100?
They both
Yeah,
got
how
100.
crazy is that, dude?
Like, and the reason I really had to choose, I've seen these movies probably
1 million
each
times.
one over 200 times in the past 2 years because I have a child that is
The young lad likes
obsessed.
Toy Story.
The young
That's
lad
good for him. That's good.
can't stop. His birthday party was Toy Story themed. So you can see, I've seen this movie over and over and over, and I think it's great, and I think it's actually very before its time.
It's
I just
timeless.
exactly, and it's a
It is
story.
timeless, dude. I love
All those
this
movies, though, from when we were kids.
I'm
are
just,
timeless.
but I'm impressed that both of them. Have you seen the second one?
Yes.
Do you like the second one?
Yeah, but not like the first one.
I know, right?
First
But
one's definitely
the
the best.
second one
The
gets a
thing
little.
is, the second one, you bring in this family of his, like this whole new group of people,
Right, Jesse.
that actually makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Bullseye and the big dude.
So the way it comes together is nice.
Way it comes
But
together
At
is
the same time,
Yeah.
Like the
Really
third
good.
one is
Both got
atrocious.
100.
Have you guys seen the third?
You're an idiot.
Yeah,
No,
they kinda-
stop it, Manny.
Stop. You cannot tell me you really like the third one.
I do. I love it.
what happened in the third one again?
Third one is
that's when,
freaking Auschwitz.
Basically, they
It's
go to
basically the
Auschwitz.
Holocaust.
With the
Um,
barn
So-
guy?
No,
No,
the barn
that's
guy
the
was the second
second
one.
one.
The third one is that they
The big teddy bear.
Andy gives the toys to the
Andy,
little
Andy.
girl.
Yeah.
Oh no, they get lost.
They get
They
They
get
decide
lost.
that one of them. That's at the beginning of it. Something happens, and I think
It
Bo
seems-
leaves.
No, Bo
No, Bo's in
was
it.
gone
Gone
after the
before
first one.
first one.
After the first one, she was gone.
Bo?
She wasn't in the second
No,
one.
she was in the second.
Yeah,
one.
she was. She was
She got
yes,
sent out on the second one
Because
because
at the
that's
end, they
Yeah.
like they get married or whatever, right?
no, that's the fourth one. There's 4. Yeah, I know. Either way,
The
For-
third
I
one
don't
is
even-
that they're getting sold off to on a yard sale, I think, right? They end up getting like donated
because
or whatever.
Andy goes to college,
college.
and he has to choose, and they decide to put the toys in
And
the
there was
attic
a
and some
mistake, though. There was a mistake.
Super
They-
mistake.
Yeah, super
Big
mistake.
mishap.
Toys were going out to the trash instead of the
and they're
attic.
thinking, so they
And
decide
so
to
they
go
were, like,
to
being
a.
bought.
That's tragic, by the way, too. Imagine
Yeah.
that.
I know,
So
imagine.
tight.
I know. It's so
And you're
tight,
and it's
dude.
like just
Like I see the way my kid looks at his toys, and like
That's why
It's
it's so
heartbreaking.
good, dude. And they end up going.
And then you're in a state of panic.
Yeah.
it's
You gotta try and find it.
I
somewhere
But either way, I
possible.
mean, I think, as we were saying, like this is great 2 movies, but like you can't tell me that this is above Godfather 1 and 2.
Oh, definitely not.
No, I guess not. But I
Like,
would
out of
different things,
sequels,
but
I would
like,
rate them all.
I mean,
100,
golly.
though.
Oh yeah, of course. I
Yeah.
mean, they're good, but I just don't think it's like out of all the movies with sequels that are actually good.
Maybe the dude that rated Goodfellas and Godfather when he did it was so cracked out.
Most of
He-
it.
he forgot.
He must have been
He
forgot
forgot to give
how.
him 3
Exactly.
extra, 4 extra points.
Yeah.
Perhaps that happens.
Perhaps
Yeah.
that's what happened. So
Could have
that's and I right now I'll jump into the ones that I think. This is another one that I think it could have been 1 and 2. Back to the Future. Back to
Oh,
the
yeah.
Future 1 and 2. I'm sorry, but that's got to go over Toy
Yeah.
Story.
Yeah.
That is just like
Oh,
everything,
yeah.
right? Like, and you don't even
Didn't he
have
get that 100?
no 97% for the first Back to the Future.
Bullshit, dude.
Tell me how that works.
No.
That movie
I
is.
can't.
Wrong. I mean, unless you're thinking about like some of the innuendos that you see now that everyone's like, oh my god, we got to cancel this movie.
Yeah, maybe that is what it is.
That's probably where it is. But
That should have
those
no
people can just
factor
was
go
like,
in the
yeah.
grading. It should have no factor.
Exactly.
in the grading.
It
Rated
should-
when it came out. When it
Steven
came out,
Spielberg,
everything was
by the
all
way.
right.
Exactly. And then that
Unbelievable.
one there, and just for time's sake, Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
How is Shawshank
Did he get that
not in that
either?
movie? It's a 91. It's less than Back to the Future.
That's ridiculous. What's wrong with that movie? Nothing.
Nothing.
Didn't it win how many Oscars?
Dude,
A lot.
it doesn't even matter. That movie, I could watch that movie anytime
Right.
that movie's on. That movie needs to be watched.
Who's the dude who played?
Where's
Andy
Rotten
Dufresne?
Tomatoes headquarters?
We're gonna go
We gotta
find
go
him. We gotta go
Gotta
find
be in
him.
Connecticut.
We gotta get them talking to.
I forgot his name.
And no, it's something with
Andy
an A.
Dufresne is his
no,
name in the movie. Andy Dufresne. My name is
Andy
Andy.
Dufresne, yes.
But Morgan Freeman's in it.
Morgan
Tim
Freeman.
Robbins.
Tim Robbins. Thank
Shit.
you. Tim Robbins.
Oh, Tony,
Everything
that's
about
good.
that movie is phenomenal. From beginning to
91%.
end. 91%. Get out of here.
What is wrong with that?
The end. The ending is sick when he finds him.
Oh,
he
it's
busts the gate,
phenomenal.
he go- yeah.
Yeah. How about when he crawls through the pipe of shit?
I know.
And he gets
That's
out.
something
and
freedom.
he's like, and I believe the cinematographer is Roger Deakins, which again,
Oh.
there's like I don't understand how.
And we're talking about a Stephen King novel as well. Like this
Brilliant.
is-
Brilliant.
There's so much good names.
You know, the
attached
movie
to this.
it gives you a lot of hope if you ever get locked up.
Yeah,
You can
gives
get
you,
out.
it gives you hope that you're gonna make it,
Yeah,
and, that,
you can-
and that if you're a bank person, that you can
Yeah.
do people's
Yeah.
your investment portfolio.
I
their
wouldn't even be
taxes.
worried about it.
No, you'd be good.
I would
say
love to
lock
go
me
to jail.
away. Give me the
let's
challenge.
do it.
I
Yeah.
like.
I don't care.
But all
He's
three of
got-
us did.
Let's
We'll-
do it.
We'll team up too.
Let's
The
do
three
it,
of us,
dude.
dude.
Look at that. We'll start our own gang.
Give us 10 days, we'll be out of there.
10 days. Fucking
Max.
Are we digging like a
Oh, yeah.
tunnel?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Clint Eastwood style and freaking Alcatraz.
Covered
Yeah.
up. Covered up when they come around at night.
Yeah.
Fake
dude.
heads.
No, yeah.
Mannequins.
Yeah.
Mannequins. Yeah.
It's like, hello, Manny. Manny, are you in there?
Piece of
Manny?
cake.
We have to find
Inmate
the dude
check.
who can get us
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
big thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, day one, we'd have to do that day.
100%.
Make some friends, dude.
He's bringing stuff in through
Yeah.
the laundry chutes
would
and
be
stuff.
sick.
Yeah, I know. I got you. We
Cigarettes.
might have some people. We might.
Yeah.
They would know who we are coming in. They've all the
Yeah.
downtime.
Oh, yeah.
Big names.
Oh, they're listening right now.
Yeah.
They're just setting up the cots for
Yeah, they're
us and
excited.
ourselves.
We wouldn't even do
coming
anything to
now.
get arrested. They would just.
No, they just send us in and be
Yeah.
like, hey, you guys can go chill in there with these guys.
It'd be like escape the room,
Yeah.
but
We're just
prison.
gonna. it's our own
way
little
more
escape room.
intense. Yeah.
Cuff me
Don't
up.
get killed.
Yeah, don't die. That's the.
Or say a little blowjob hacks. Don't do that either.
thing. How's your job? Is it good? You got a
Yeah, all right.
strong little
For right
job.
now, yeah.
That's
So,
funny.
so let's jump to you. What do you got?
All right,
I'm
so my
intrigued to hear
picks. Dude.
yours.
All right, so my picks for movies that I think that did make it and deserve to make
I
it.
deserve to know.
The first one I'm gonna do is actually a TV series. Believe it or
Interesting.
not, dude. And I feel we don't talk a lot about TV series, and I feel like
I feel like we need to jump and do that more.
yeah, right. Why not, dude?
Bye, Matt.
Bye, Matthew. Matthew
Matthew,
is
we love you.
out.
Thank you.
He has to pee.
He's got to
Will
go.
he be back? Stay
Will he be
tuned.
back?
Anyway, so the first one I picked is Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Really?
Yeah, never heard.
All right, so this is a relatively new show.
That's how I feel about this whole list.
Yeah, right. I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Yeah, what
Why
is
is
this?
it?
Yeah.
So basically, so it's a show on Hulu that came out within the last year or two, and it's Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Selena Gomez.
Oh,
You've
Wait, is that a
seen
new
some of
one?
those. Yeah, I said it within the last like 2 years it came out.
Yeah,
A
okay.
year or two.
Yeah, I actually saw more of the social media behind it because she would be doing a bunch of stuff with those two.
Yeah. So, first of all, obviously, Steve Martin and Martin Short have been working together in comedy specifically for their entire careers, basically.
Yeah.
Masters of comedy, masters of timing, of just brilliant, just clever one-liners, dude.
They know.
I put them in the room together. I mean, they'll sing for you, and they'll do really well at it too. So basically, they live in a New York apartment building, and they actually run a podcast that talks about crimes, like your favorite crimes, like crime mysteries and stuff like that.
That's the next one we're gonna.
And all of a sudden, some murders in the building.
No way.
I mean, they decide to kind of take matters in their own hands and figure out who done it. As these murders are, by the way, like more people getting killed, and it's actually like it's like rated R, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of cursing. There's some violence as well. It's very well done. Hulu.
Oh, okay.
It's on Hulu.
The Hulu original.
The Hulu original. And I think they're creating a second season for it. I don't think it's been released yet. But the second season is picked up this year.
Nice.
Because the show is so good, and it's just the three of them have such great chemistry. Selena Gomez is really good, and of course, I mean,
Selena Gomez.
Yeah, she's great actually.
She in what was it, Spring Breakers? She was awesome in
Spring Breakers was a terrible movie though.
I know, but she was awesome in it.
Yeah, I guess so.
That movie actually got some good critiques, which is very strange. The way it was shot, and
the way it was shot was cool.
It was cool, but like James
Franco was out of his mind.
Stupid
and
ass
he got sued to be like riffraff with everything. Yeah,
riffraff.
So bad. Anyway, that was my number 3, I suppose.
I suppose. I'm surprised. I mean, that's pretty recent. I'm surprised that was.
I would say honestly, that is probably the one thing I looked at and I was like, you know what?
This is why
this deserves 100%.
Okay.
Because it was, I mean, it was a little corny at times, but that's Steve Martin and Martin Short. But they were funny. There was amazing plot twists too.
Well,
the writing was phenomenal. Yeah, it's a murder show.
It's a murder show. You got to keep that.
And it was obviously very present with the podcast thing and mixing in Selena with the old talent. I mean, it was great. It was great. It was great.
It was good. I like it. I'm gonna have to check it out.
You should check it out.
Hulu, baby. Check it out.
Hulu, baby. And my next one is going to be an oldie. I mean, we're talking about 1952 here. It is a movie called Singing in the Rain. Okay.
What a classic.
It's literally a classic movie, and when you think about the people who are in it, you have Gene Kelly, obviously a great actor. This was actually one of his last movies, I believe.
Was it really?
He was very well established. Obviously phenomenal dancer, musician, singer, great on-screen talent. Yeah. And you have Donald O'Connor, who I only know in one of the movies is White Christmas, which is also a phenomenal movie. Again, you're talking about someone who's a sarcastic, witty guy. He's great. And then Debbie Reynolds.
Debbie.
I mean, again, having someone who in the 50s was sort of kind of in the middle of her career, I would say, and didn't have much dancing experience, but still worked great. And, as most people do know, Carrie Fisher is her mom. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously a great kind of legacy family there. But this movie, I feel like, musicals don't get a great rap.
No, they don't.
Especially these old ones, where musicals like this was just so freaking popular, dude.
Well, back in the day, the musical and the theater was as popular, so you kind of needed that. It wasn't like these. I give screenwriters a lot of credit for being able to write something from beginning to end. Back in the day, that was the thing.
Right. It was phenomenal, and it worked. Pretty seamlessly in terms of getting to musical numbers. Absolutely. But you have all these great actors, Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly,
they were pumping these movies out though. These are all studio movies, so they're like pumping this one out with the next one, and they're doing one movie after another.
Right, and it's just
you get this one gem every once in a while.
For me, you get this one gem at the very end of Gene Kelly's career.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Obviously the most famous song is "Singing in the Rain," but honestly, that song I didn't even like that much. Okay,
because it doesn't even matter. In the morning, you just think about it.
Yeah, well, of course, "Singing in the Rain" was the most popular one.
Oh, there it is.
This is it. But to me, that was one of my least favorite numbers. You had the song "In the Morning," in the morning, it's great.
But his dancing and then the pose.
Dude, I know. The pose,
the swing around. It's a beauty.
Even with Donald O'Connor, make him laugh.
Yes.
Right? Such a good song, and
he starts out one of the best musicals out there.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rated 100%. I think for a reason.
I'll give you that one.
Again, I think it has a lot of tap dancing. I think tap dancing is a very underrated form of dance.
It's very hard.
I think tap dancing is so impressive, guys. Tap dancing.
Cool.
Cool. Thumbs up. Tap dancing. Tap dancing.
I've seen a really, really cool tap dancer who like is absolutely like a good one,
Right?
a really good one. It's like any other like a hip hop
Right.
dancer or whatever,
Yeah.
or like a ballet person who's like extremely talented.
Uh-huh.
I've seen on America's Got Talent, and she was so amazing. Like you couldn't take your eyes off her.
Next
bet.
week, let's go to tap dancing classes.
I filmed.
actually
I
have
filmed
tap
an
shoes
elderly.
at
You do.
my house.
Really?
I do.
That's awesome.
I filmed an elderly woman, 96, and she was tap dancing.
How was she?
She was good.
Really?
Yeah, dude. She was
That's
doing
awesome.
it. It kept her young.
Give me a week. I'll be better
Kept
than
her
her.
young. Oh no, you won't. Oh, Gladys was
No, I'm
phenomenal.
sure Gladys sounds like a great. Gladys even sounds like a great tap
Gladys. She
dancer.
was just stop.
But yeah, great movie. Go see that movie. Very entertaining.
Yeah.
Great music. Honestly, the music was so good.
That was good.
It was
yeah.
great. So that, I think I really don't have any.
I'll give you that one. That one
gripes with
definitely is
one.
100% on there.
And this one, which is my number one, actually, and I probably do have some gripes with the reason why. Even so, it's on the list, but it's the Terminator, the first one.
Another one that could have had a sequel on there if you're going to give this
Yeah,
first.
the second one wasn't on there.
I know.
Which, to me, honestly, I like the first one better, personally.
I
I think the
appreciate
story is better.
the first one. Yeah,
I think the story is better with
Yeah.
Kyle Reese getting sent back.
that's good. But I mean, the second one just has this guy, and it's just the villain in the second one. Is
Right.
just-
And I mean, but like John Connor, like you realize that like John Connor like knowingly sends back Kyle
Oh,
Reese,
yeah.
and he knows it's his dad.
Yeah.
Like he knows it's his dad, and he knows he has to send him back. And they're buddies in the future, and he can't tell him like, "Hey, you're my dad."
Yeah.
And he fucking dies.
Yeah, I know. It's,
He literally like John Connor knows he can send his dad to his death, bro.
but he's got to do it.
He's got to do
Spoiler
it.
He's got to do it.
And
That's
of
part
course,
of the.
sorry, spoiler alert, but it's the Terminator. You should fucking know it. Sorry. But you know, obviously James Cameron first installment. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger busting onto the scene here as an actor.
When he shows up into the bar, buck naked, and
dude.
just like, I'll be taking those.
Yeah, give me the clothes, shoots the guy in the face, the Terminator, the look, the rigid haircut. You know.
Yep. Gets his leather jacket
Gets the
and gets his
leather
motorcycle,
jacket,
and he's
dude, yeah.
off.
He's the fucking man.
I mean,
And he just fucking.
beginning of Arnold Schwarzenegger's career. Well, one of the beginning, really the breakout role.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
For real.
Predator was before that, right? Was
I
Predator
mean,
pre-Terminator?
Terminator was 84. I think Predator was after. Honestly.
Oh man! So this definitely had to have been like his first.
87.
Oh yeah, so there you go. So we're saying like one of the greatest action movies of all time.
Right.
Period.
Right.
I see why it's on there, but
I see what's on there, but I see, for instance, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all in all, not a great actor.
no.
And then the guy who plays Kyle Reese, all in all, not a great actor. The guy who plays the mom, what's her name? Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor.
Not a great actress. I mean,
She's been going on for the
she's-
rest of them. She's still in
yeah,
them.
I know. She's still
The recent one, yeah.
and it's like there wasn't great special effects yet. I mean, 2 was really the one that was more groundbreaking.
Well, yeah, ILM came in.
Yeah. And I mean, the script wasn't even that great. The acting was kind of.
But when people
that
saw the
great.
shit, the
Yeah,
visual
it was-
effects, it didn't matter. Like you didn't
So,
have to have a good story.
This was definitely one movie I thought that should not be on the list, but I love this movie personally,
100%.
so it's on my list.
I like it.
And then real quick, 2 picks I think that should be on the list. The first one's gonna be Catch Me If You Can.
Yep.
Back to Spielberg. Okay.
That
I mean, we're talking first of all, Tom Hanks in the prime, the young Leo.
brilliantly.
And not to mention, it's a fucking true story. And Steven Spielberg does a phenomenal job
Yep.
in kind of displaying this true story and making it, you know, kind of like you're sitting in your seat and you're just kind of just fathoming
Dude, you go through a roller coaster.
what this guy is doing and how he hasn't been caught, dude.
And there's so many stories in one. Like that's the
Yeah,
thing,
dude.
because of the fact that this guy
He's
is
a
being
fucking doctor. He's a lawyer. His
a
dad
pilot.
is Christopher Walken. He's
yeah,
a pilot.
dude. It's
And
like,
he's 17 years old forging checks across America.
exactly
Dude.
with
And
ease,
it's
saying he's an FBI agent too.
yeah. Posing and there's like it's shot well. I mean, one scene that always kind of like kind of peeked out in my brain was a scene where he was in LA, obviously having all this money now, throwing parties at the sweet house, the pool, and the cops, Tom Hanks and his boys go there and they raid the house. No one's there, but all it is just they're following the gun of the officers.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's like one guy walks, this guy's little fucking like 38 special revolver, and it's just following the gun in the hand in a low angle shot. And then all of a sudden, the next guy walks in the frame, and the camera starts following him. Then, okay, and it keeps doing that
They're just
around the
moving.
house, and they're looking at stuff, and they're just setting the scene.
Yeah.
That's just how fucking heavy that these FBI guys are trying to follow this man, Frank Abagnale, and they have no idea he's just a fucking kid,
17-year-old.
17-year-old kid. They're getting fooled by him.
I know. I love it. I love him when he's a doctor because he's watching the TV shows, trying to learn how to do the jargon. He's like, he's in the middle of one. He's like, "Do you concur?" Yeah. Do you concur? Yes. I concur. I concur.
Oh my god, it's so
It's
funny.
brilliant. It's brilliant.
Brilliant movie. Should be on the list.
100.
And then my next one is going to be Rogue One, Star Wars story.
I'm intrigued by this.
By the way, the Catch Me If You Can, some of the bad reviews basically said the movie was too long. Well, the movie disappointed. Which, by the way, true story. And he gets caught, first of all.
And then he starts
it's
working for the
in medias res, by the way.
Oh.
Classic film technique. You start in the middle of things where Frank is kind of like got caught already. And they bring you back, and they bring you back to where you started, which is the future. Dude,
It's phenomenal.
phenomenal way. No disappointment. You suck, okay? And then Rogue One, basically, again, I mean, I think one of the best Star Wars movies ever made. You talk about kind of giving a new aspect to what Star Wars is in terms of, setting down a prequel, which is, in between 3 and 4, right up to Episode 4, okay? And it's literally
Or
like the
Death Star,
story, like the story of how they got the plans for the Death Star.
Yeah.
So it sets up 4 perfectly, and a huge piece of news they give you is why there was that weakness in the Death Star to begin
In the
with.
Death Star, yeah.
Which is
Finally
something that
get
was
an
a huge
explanation.
plot hole.
Yeah.
Like people asked since the 70s, why is there like
Why is that
hole
one
in the
spot?
Death Star that will blow it all up, even in their fucking plans to begin with?
Yeah.
And they tell you why. They have great actors. It's a great story, and it's like a tearjerker as well.
I think it's the one Star Wars movie that finally came out that brought in new people and the old people accepted it.
Yeah.
It really was like one of the first ones.
And then in the end, they hit that Darth Vader that
I
reached
know.
through some rebels,
It's
bro.
insane.
But an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's lower than most of the other ones.
I know, it's so good.
Catch Me If You Can, 96.
Dude,
You said okay.
Yeah, some of these comments, by the way, as to why it's a Suicide Squad level moments of confusion, weak characters. Like what? Faces are unmemorable and the characters unacceptable. Their meaningful glances unearned. A dull, oppressive experience being force-fed, a corporate product, a film that never comes alive.
Those
with
people
none
like
of the
Jar Jar
characters
Binks, so they
properly
should shut
developed. None of the relationships getting a very adventure formulaic movie. And people
Dude,
were saying
I'm not
how
even a
it
big-
didn't like.
I'm not even a big
establish
fan of
anything
Star
new.
Wars, and it's still like you're just mumbling and it's just bullshit.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
is
people
bullshit.
need to shut up.
Someone called my name. But anyway, and then one thing that is 100%, by the way, which I think should be 100%, Pretty Little Liars, The Perfectionists, season 1, 100% Rotten Tomatoes.
I've watched like 3 seasons.
Pretty Little Liars. No, this is like a spin-off called Pretty Little Liars, The Perfectionists.
Oh, I've actually seen Pretty Little Liars.
Is it good?
I mean, for a teenage,
100%.
fucking,
Apparently, teenagers are the critics.
it's atrocious.
Anyway, that's my take on Rotten Tomatoes.
Dude, you got some good ones. I think Rotten Tomatoes needs to like reevaluate how they choose some of these things.
I think so too, man.
I don't know. I need to eat something. I think
really?
that's it.
Oh yeah, Rotten Tomatoes, figure your life out. I
Yeah.
thank everyone for tuning in. For Brian, Rich coming on, Matt,
Maddie
Mike,
boy.
Renee, who's producing that by the
Look
way.
at that. Yeah, she got her 2 cents in. She told us the stories. I
lovely
like
job, Renee. And I want to thank you for watching, for tuning in. Don't forget, go watch the Mets are up 3-1 right now. If you enjoyed this, go to our YouTube, subscribe.
it. You got another 100 coming your way.
Another Hana coming your way for sure. Can't wait to see you guys back here for episode 200 of Screen Time.
Yup.
Love you all, and we'll see you soon. Wednesday. See you.
Hey.
Good.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.